Hey guys, welcome back to Country Den, where we make awesome tastes for your face. I got a great recipe for you today. This is going to be a pork shoulder roast. Okay, we're going to smoke this on the grill. Got a new little smoker, so I'm going to try that out and get it all fired up. Yeah, that's how we like to do it here. But I'm going to go ahead and start with a pork shoulder. I'm going to season it up with my own little dry rub. I want you guys to try that out. I'm going to give you the recipe here. I'll give you my secret recipe. And then we're gonna pull it after it's all smoked and tender. After about 4 to 6 hours, it's gonna work out. And we're gonna pull it apart, add some sauce on it, and add some slaw on top. It's gonna be awesome. You got, like I said, awesome taste for your face. So we're gonna go ahead and get this started. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get my meat rubbed down here. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you my spice mix while I'm doing that. I like to just give you a little tip. I like to keep my bottles that the spices come in, so I can save those, make my own mix, and then I'll put it into those containers. So you want, and like you have your string there on that, you want to keep that tie on there. And what you also want to do is find the fattiest part and keep that on the top. So the fattiest part seems to be more towards the bottom, so I'm going to roast it this side up. You want to make sure that you do that, so when your roast starts to thaw out there and starts to cook, the fat will actually run down and keep your meat moist. I'm going to wipe these bottles down after I'm done, you know, because I'm touching the pork, but a little bit fine. Also, so what I'm using here for my mix is I have a cup of brown sugar. I make a big batch of it, so you know I can go ahead and save it for the rest of it. But I have a cup of brown sugar, a half a cup of paprika. I use two tablespoons of black powder. I have some salt in there, a little bit of that, a pinch of it. I have a tablespoon of chili powder. Got a little tablespoon of garlic powder. Then I got some onion powder in there also. A little bit of that, about a pinch. Then I have 2 tablespoons of cayenne. And now I use a little bit over of a teaspoon of this. I use two teaspoons of mustard powder. I put a teaspoon of cumin in there. Got 1 teaspoon of coriander. And I got a teaspoon of turmeric and also oregano. So as you can see, it makes a nice little mix there. And I want to make sure that I get this coated on all sides. So I'm just gonna push it in there. And some people say, oh, you rub your meat, you know, versus pushing it in there. But I like to make sure that I get it coated really good. Alright, we're going to go on to the grill. Now you might be thinking also, Dave, a lot of your heat is getting out through that door. Yes, a little bit my heat is getting out, but at the same time, it's a pretty big fire, so my temperature is still getting up there. Right now, I'm shooting at about almost 300, and I just went and got the roast and came back. So it's up there a bit, so I want to keep it down though. I'm going to go ahead and move my grate over. I'm going to smoke it more towards this side. I'm going to throw my thermometer in there so I'll know exactly what temperature it is on the cooking grate. Right now it says about 200, but I'm going to get my thermometer and check that. Now I like to use a secondary thermometer, and that's one of these little ones right here. It works pretty well. It's been pretty accurate for me, so I like to use that one. I'm going to go ahead and get this second grate off. I'm going to sit it right by my meat so I know what temperature that is. Because I'm guessing this one up here is not going to be as accurate. So I'm aiming for a low and slow type deal. You know, I don't want it going too fast. And you can see that fire is burning out of there. It's getting pretty hot now. It'll burn that, and once it burns off on one end, I'll just push it in there and it'll be good to go. Now that I got it all settled down, she has a nice thin blue smoke coming through there. It was running a little bit hot at first, and I had to back off the wood a little bit. Got a little bit too thick in there. I'm having more of a blackish white smoke, so it's running a little bit too much. And now she's right around 300, headed towards 275. I'm gonna keep backing it down and do a low and slow smoke. So that'll hold there. I've kind of got the settings where they need to be. Now I'll leave it be and won't touch it. I'll just monitor that temperature and we'll be good. Now the wait begins. It was right at 250, using a little bit of apple juice and hickory liquid smoke. Looks real good. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and check the temperature of this. The internal temperature. Got a little thermometer here. As you can see, I got a nice little bit of smoke coming out of here. One thing I want to point out is just the temperature. You can see the thermometer on the top of there. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up or not, but it's showing about 450 right now. But we're going to check the internal temperature, so you can see the smoke come off of that. And I have a thermometer down here, and you can see it's right at 250, right in between 250 and 275. So that's just a different temperature. And I'm using the minion method here, so I'm going to go ahead and take and put my thermometer right there in the middle of the meat there, and gonna check the temperature of that. I think we have a little bit of ways to go. It's showing right now, maybe 90 degrees. It's still going a bit. Might be towards 95. I think we have a little bit of ways to go, so we have a couple more hours, but it's coming along. Okay, and our finished product, and don't be alarmed and think that this is burnt. It is not burnt at all. That is actually a bark coating. That comes from the dry rub seasoning and the smoking. You have a chemical reaction that happens, and it hardens up, and it makes a lovely, delicious tasting bark. Now we're going to remember to take your string off of there. I want to set that to the side. You don't want to have any extra chewiness in there. Yeah, buddy. Now we're just going to dig into there and start tearing this apart. Now you can see that there is a nice pink smoke ring in there. Oh yeah. This is going to be delicious. Oh. Now don't get that bark lost and have that just go everywhere. You want to keep that in there because that's going to be a good chewiness. So we're just gonna, I like this into a nice little chunk, so I'm just gonna get it all worked down. All right, I'll get back to you when we're done.